Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of GregTech New Horizons. How are you guys doing today? How's life? There are so many projects that I want to do, but each and every one of them is gated behind one thing. Can you guess what it is? Sugarcane. It's a bit of an over-dramatization, but yes, essentially sugarcane. I did make a promise to some of you guys that I am going to go on a little bit slower and try to explain myself a little bit better, but the problem is, this process is so complicated that I don't really know how to explain it. At the end of the day, I want to make something which is called Staff of Traveling from Ender.io. It's something very simple, it's a novelty, and it's a quality of life improvement because it can teleport me by around 30 blocks in the direction that I'm looking at. The Staff of Traveling requires an Ender Crystal requires a Vibrant Crystal requires Vibrant Alloy, making Vibrant Alloy requires better coils for the Electronic Blast Furnace, cooling down the Vibrant Alloy requires a Vacuum Freezer which requires advanced circuits, making those circuits requires a clean room, and making the clean room requires a bunch of alloys and a bunch of chemicals which we don't have. So again, we have to start with sugarcane. Well, technically speaking, it does not have to be sugarcane, but we are going to go with sugarcane because it has other uses as well. Basically what we need to do is that we need to get into IC2 crops. For those of you who don't know, industrial craft also has a method of growing crops like agricraft. It's a little bit different, so let us go through it. In agricraft, whenever you want to convert a normal seed into the agricraft version, well, you just have to analyze it inside the seed analyzer. In industrial craft, it's a little bit different. You have to place down a crop stick, put your plant inside, and whenever it's completely mature, you can go to it, left click, and you will get a seed. So now this is an industrial craft seed, and we can analyze it inside the seed analyzer. There is a portable version from industrial craft itself, but it does require an integrated processor which we don't have, but thankfully there's also a block from GregTech, which is called the scanner, and if we put our seed inside, it will be scanned, and we will have a seed with 3 different attributes: growth, gain, and resistance. I don't know who started the crop mutation first, was it Industrial Craft 2 or was it AgriCraft, but essentially they work the same way. Growth means that how fast your plant is going to grow. Gain means how much yield it's going to give you, for instance 1 wheat, 2 wheat, 5 wheat, 100. And resistance is about the resistance that the plant can have towards weed. And FYI, this is called weed, which you can remove it with a trowel. Whenever you have an empty crop stick or a double crop stick, there's a chance that you will get weed, and in this modpack it's not disabled. So now that we have a crop with random attributes, how do we improve it? Well, exactly like AgriCraft. In order to mutate the crops into a better one, we need 2 parents. So we need 2 crop sticks, 2 parents, and 1 double crop stick in the center. And the crop that is going to grow in the center one is either going to have a better attribute than both parents, or it's going to be a new crop. Also, this was one way of doing it, but I think this is a better way because you get 2 chances. Instead of having 3, we have 4. So if I put the parents diagonally, we can have 2 mutated crops on these double ones. And of course you can also get weed. I'm not really going to complain because we do have a quest in order to gather weed, so the more we have the better. So that quest was complete, now you need 256? Why? I don't know. So using everything that I have told you so far, I am trying to mutate these 2 sugarcanes. One of them has a growth of 7, the other one is 6. One has a resistance of 3, the other one has 4. So the mutated crop that they're going to make is going to be much better than the parents. That will take care of the sugarcane, but there are also other crops that we need, and one of them is called stickweed because that will give us an insane amount of resin. And if you guys remember, resin is going to give us rubber, plant ball, as well as refined glue, and we need all of that. According to the NEI, that is a combination of sugarcane and hemp seed from Industrial Craft 2. How do we get hemp seed? That is a combination of pumpkin and vines. Of course, as usual, there's also a chance that you will get pumpkins, but we want hemp. You are probably garbage. So these 2 diagonal crops that you see over here have fully matured, and they should have a better attribute than their parents. Sugarcanes. Oh, I have a stack. Okay, so if we analyze it, I don't know, growth should be more than 7? Hopefully. Well, this one is 6, but at least it does have a gain of 1. And the second one has a growth of 7, gain of 2, and resistance of 2. So we got a downgrade on resistance. It's okay. We shall remove the old parents, and we shall have new parents. Also, I did try a watering can from Extra Utilities too, but it doesn't really work. I did try fertile soil from Random Things, that also doesn't seem to work. This is a very weird mod. If you want to give water to your crops, you actually have to give them water using a cell. So there you go. Now it has water 200. We should also give it fertilizer, but it's a very complicated process, so I'm not gonna do that. At least for the moment. Where's my bed? Oh, it's here. Also, over here between our pumpkin and vine, we had a few mutations. So this is vines, it's useless. And I'm not exactly sure, are you hemp? It was hemp, because this is hemp. Yes, it's hemp. Nice. And apparently we also got a purple flower. I like that. Gives you purple dye. I have no idea what the hell is this. Oh, tulips. Okay. Anyways, this is going to be a very long process, so let me get a few crops and I'll be right back. But in the meantime, you should remember that there is a quest for it which gives you the criteria for growing crops. For example, our biome over here with 40% humidity is garbage. This biome over here, which is close to the river, has a humidity of 90%, so it's going to be much better, and eventually we're going to transfer our farms over there. You might also notice that there is something called air quality, so the higher you go, the better the air quality is going to be. But I'm not going to make a floating platform 50 blocks in the sky because I think it's a stupid criteria, and if you comply with stupid criterias, you're promoting them. So we're not gonna promote them. So something fun, I just got stick reed from Reed. I don't know why. I mean, that is the default recipe in Industrial Craft 2, but if you look at the NEI in GregTech, there is no recipe for it. This was the recipe that I was originally going to go for using hemp and sugarcane, but I think we already got it, because I harvested something and it gave me a sticky resin. So let us analyze it and see what it is. Stick reed. Holy, well, that is perfectly fine by me. I'm not going to complain. I have not done IC2 crops in a very long time, so I don't really know how to duplicate seeds, but I'm assuming it's like AgriCraft, so we can have double crop sticks and our seed over here. We just give you water and wait. Of course, if we have more crop sticks, that will give us better chances, I guess. Also, you might notice that I just planted this a few seconds ago, and since it had a growth of 6, it grew really fast. And that is exactly what we want with our crops. First off, a double crop stick promotes mutation. We didn't want mutation, so a normal crop stick would have worked in AgriCraft. Secondly, it didn't actually work in Industrial Craft 2, so I'm trying to promote another mutation using hemp and sugarcane. Although, can you plant sticky resin? Because you can plant sugarcane. No. Well, you would never know. You have to try. Anyhow, I did say we need sugarcane in order to make the staff of traveling, but that's not very true. Our immediate need for sugarcane is going to be something like this. If we put sugarcane inside a brewing machine, it's going to give us biomass, correct? If we put biomass inside a fermenter, it's going to give us fermented biomass. And if we put fermented biomass inside the distillation tower, we're going to get acetic acid, which is used in order to make acetone, and that's a very useful chemical. It's also going to give us ammonia, which I think it's going to be used in order to make nitric acid. Also, it's going to give us methanol, ethanol, methane gas, as well as water and fertilizer. We can use methanol or ethanol in order to make biodiesel, so that's also an option. And that is essentially why we needed sugarcane. I just wanted you to know. The thing is, we are using natural oil in order to make diesel, but I really prefer if we keep that oil in order to make the byproducts and not just fuel that we're going to burn. Because the fuel that we want to burn should be renewable. So now that you guys already know why the hell do I need sugarcane, how do we proceed? We just need to dump everything, cause, you know, inventory management is a pain. We need to make something which is called a brewery. And guess what? It does require a brew stand. I have already done the research in Thaumcraft, and this is the recipe for it. We need aspects of Essentia. And in my garbage wand, we're missing Ignis and we're missing air. And since we have already found the aura nodes, getting it should not be an issue. So you, my dear friend, you should be Ignis. Yes. Give me power. Air is just over there. Perfect. I can't see it. Oh, you're there. Okay. In order to make the brew stand, we need long blaze rods. Unfortunately, I do not have any blaze rods. Well, I do not have anything left, but we can buy blazes. Technically not the blaze itself, the spawn egg. Because I really don't want to go to the nether fortress again, we're going to spawn them here, and we're going to get blaze rods. You're different. And you're a boss. Well, we got 2. You're also a boss. Oh, we got 3 this time. Nice. You give me protection 2, you're protection 1. Okay, I wear that. Also, we should always monitor our crops for wheat because I don't really want to lose everything. I am a very lazy person, so we're going to do this manually. So the rest is easy peasy. Yes, as I have already mentioned, easy peasy. Here is our brewing stand. And we just lost every single aspect. Okay. I wanted to do some terraforming and I'm tired. Tired of what? Garbage builder's wand. We're going to get the good one. So the super builder's wand is not going to happen anytime soon because we need unstable ingot, which is not going to happen, obviously. The diamond builder's wand is great, but it has a durability and it will eventually run out. And since it is made out of diamonds, well, we can't really afford that many of them. You might be thinking that the builder's wand from extra utilities is actually much worse because we need 2 unstable ingots. That is very true, but there is a quest for it. The problem is, I have to gather a bajillion blocks. So far I have done 5, we have, I don't know, 20 remaining. So here is fantasy block, then purple fantasy block. Oh, it's a retrieval task. Ew, I was wondering where the blocks are going. We have factory block, technical block and Tyrian. That is 3 more. Oh, it's a different type of Tyrian. Okay. Water stone, void stone, energized void stone, warning sign, temple stone, and of course nothing is complete without some Valentine's blocks. I dropped them. So out of all the blocks that we had to submit, we're missing one of them, concrete. And thankfully concrete was actually one of my plans for today. So we have all the ingredients, let us automate it. So concrete is not something super complicated and we have already done this before. Even the crafting tables that I used are still over there. We used the concrete in order to make the blast furnaces in order to make steel, which later on I replaced them with the electronic blast furnaces. And by electronic blast furnaces, I mean these guys. And just to put your minds at rest, yes, I do understand that they can share walls. I said that in the video, and I also said I prefer them this way, because they look cool. In case you have not noticed, playing efficiently is not my motto. This is why I also want to set up an automation for concrete, because I don't want concrete just for the quest, I also want it for decorations. It is also true that in order to go to the EVH we also need to make a clean room so that we can make the circuits necessary in order to advance, and that actually requires concrete. Well, technically we need plascrete, but that requires wet concrete, which I think even having 4 or 5 stacks of cells would have been enough. And FYI, this is really why I need a builder's wand, because I did the same thing over this river so that I can make farms. Anyhow, you guys already know the drill. We're trying to set up electronic machines in the open and we need to cover it just in case it rains. Cause I don't think fire next to a refinery is a very good idea. So ladies and gentlemen, how do we make concrete? Well, first off, we're going to need a mixer with water. Clay dust is something which is renewable, stone dust is renewable, quartz sand is also renewable. But if you remember, calcite was a pain because it's a secondary ore to lapis, so it's very rare. Well, it's actually not that rare, it's just a pain to get. So I have found a solution for it, and we need a macerator for that. I noticed that if you pulverize marble, you will get marble dust, and if you put 8 marble dust inside a centrifuge, you will get 7 calcite and 1 magnesium. And I have already fell in love with centrifuging and electrolyzing. It's actually a lot of fun. You give garbage to a centrifuge, you get more garbage. Anyways, enough of fooling around. I am going to use an item conduit from Ender.io in order to extract the items and filter the magnesium, because I don't really understand how the filtering system in GregTech works. So we are going to give marble to the macerator, we're going to get marble dust, the marble dust is going to go inside the centrifuge, we're going to get calcite and magnesium. Magnesium for the moment is going to go inside the chest, and calcite is going to go inside the mixer. That mixer is going to require water, so I have made some reservoirs from Ender.io, and this is a 2x2 multi-block structure, and I forgot to bring water. Damn. Well, I can take it from here and then cover it. Anyways, if you give it 2 buckets of water, it will make you an infinite water source. Like so. So we can pick it up. It's not something incredibly super fast, it gives you like 1 bucket every second. So we also want to extract the water and put it inside the mixer. So here is a pipe and here is a pump. You insert and you should get water, perfect. So the advanced mixer is going to make us concrete, but concrete has many uses. There are a few items that we can get inside the chemical bath. So obviously we have a chemical bath. The fluid solidifier is going to give us the concrete blocks, which we can actually chisel into different types of concrete. Like so. So here is a fluid solidifier. There are also a few uses using an assembler, for instance making redstone comparators and repeaters, so I also brought an assembler. There you go. I think that was it. There is also a fermenter which is going to give us construction foam, so yes, I have also made an extra fermenter, which, I don't know, we put you over there. I just remembered that I forgot to bring the tanks. We need to move them by 1 block. So I'm going to add a very small tank for concrete as a buffer, then we are going to have our machines, the order does not really matter, and finally we are going to have a tank for construction foam, just in case. That is 10 blocks. We don't have a center. We need to add something over here. But at least for the moment we are going to put the super tank over here so that we can fill it in with diesel for these guys. With a few minor changes, this is going to be our concrete factory, and so far it's actually not that bad. We have a lot of construction foam and we can also get concrete. And talking about concrete, I have already submitted the 16 blocks so we can have our builder's wand. That is perfect. Also, this is GregTech, nothing works like a normal human being, I could not use the conduits, so we have a medium voltage item filter. I really don't know how it works, but it's exporting the calcite into the mixer, so I'm not going to complain. And now that we have a decent builder's wand, can I fill in this place? You're not that kind of a builder's wand? Okay. I was thinking maybe it's going to accept dirt as grass, but apparently not. It does this. I cannot find a reason to complain. This is great. Although the main question is, do you also work in water? Oh yes. I love you. It might look like that this episode we have not done much. That is because most of the things that I have done was done off camera. Oh, we have more circuits. Basically what I did is that I have installed more HV machines. They were nothing super complicated, it's basically the higher tier of the MV machines. I needed them in order to make some chemicals because I did some quests in the HV age, if I can find it. Yes, there you go. And I also wanted to make the nanosuit because I thought it's going to give you night vision. Unfortunately, in this version that I'm running, you cannot have night vision when you have a light level of 5. It gives you blindness. I have been told that in the recent update of the pack this has been changed and you can wear night vision wherever you are. The problem is that I cannot update the pack because it crashes my game. I have to change my launcher and upgrade Java, which I'm not gonna do that. Anyhow, in addition to all of that, I have made tons of alloys. I have centrifuged a bajillion stone dust because you need biotite. And biotite is very useful in order to get fluorine. And apparently you need fluorine in order to make PTFE, aka go to hell. I have also discovered the most wonderful machine in the game, a simple washer 1, which is from the ultra low voltage age. It has consumed 1 millibucket of fuel, and it washed all of these ores. And finally I have made a garbage system for processing ores. Basically what we are doing is that we put the ores inside this chest, which is our input, we macerate it, and we are going to get the crushed ore, we wash the crushed ore, we will get some byproducts and purified crushed ore, then we macerate it again, we are going to get the purified version as well as some byproducts, and finally we just centrifuge it and get more byproducts. And of course eventually I always electrolyze everything so that I get more goodies. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.